Let's also get in Oleksiy Melnyk, the co-director of Foreign Relations and International Security Programs at the Razumkov Center in Kyiv, who's with us on the broadcast. Thanks very much for being here with us. First of all, if you can tell us more about what's happening around you, and if you're safe, bring us up to speed with the latest in Kyiv.
Thank you for inviting me, and I think there are plenty of information. Just I think I can make a couple of comments, including the information that you already delivered to your audience. First of all, I think you quoted probably 50% of Russian propaganda, like civilians being used as a shield in Kyiv. There are no artificial restrictions for civilians to leave Kyiv from the side of Ukrainian authorities. There is the highest problem is the security concerns. But it's a choice to every citizen either to leave Kyiv or to stay here. And many people decided to take arms or to support those who took arms and defended the country. I would probably emphasize on the Russian messages regarding the advances, you mentioned Zaporizhia. There is a nuclear power plant, and Russian forces now trying to encircle. Why it is important? Because this is the nuclear power plant, and I'm not sure that Russian soldiers have any idea about how to operate the nuclear power plant. The same already happened in the Chernobyl area when Russians took control over and they keep Ukrainian workers as the hostages there. So we have a very different, dangerous situation. And I'm not talking just about Ukraine, I'm talking about the threat to all over the world.
Right. What are your expectations at this point from these talks that are going to be held between Russia and Ukraine?
Well, we have already information that the delegation among the Ukrainian delegation is the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. There are also high-level officials, but on the level of deputy ministers. So it's not a real peace talks. I would rather call it military talks. You already mentioned Ukrainian position, and you mentioned the Russian position. And if you compare, there is still kind of very low prospect of making consensus. And one of the problems, I think, that the Moscow is still miscalculating the real situation on the ground. So Ukraine survived or fought back for 5 days, and now its position is not to accept Russian demands in any case. So Ukraine is going to fight, defend, both on military and diplomatic front.
What is your assessment of the Russian assault on Ukraine so far? There are reports suggesting that Russia is now, quote-unquote, slowing down the pace of that offensive.
Excuse me, say again?
What is your assessment of the Russian assault on Ukraine as of now, the fifth day of the invasion? Now there are reports claiming that Russia is slowing down the pace of that offensive.
Yes, that's true. There were the most critical couple of days. It's still critical because just to have an idea what kind of challenge Ukraine faces, Russia attacked Ukraine from the territory of Belarus, from the territory of Russia from the east and from the south, from Crimea and Black Sea, Azov Sea. So there was an enormous challenge. Ukrainian forces overstretched, but with all this overwhelming military superiority, Ukraine stopped Russian advance. And you mentioned Russian forces 30 kilometers from the center of Ukrainian capital. It's not around Ukrainian capital, it's just one direction. So they've been there 3 days ago and they are still there. I mean, they are not welcome there. There is an operation So in military terms, it's not too bad for Ukraine. On diplomatic front, I'm quite pessimistic because the best that what we can expect is the ceasefire, and it's not going to be like permanent ceasefire.
Right. How do you view the West sanctions and measures that have come in after Russia started that assault?
First of all, I'd like to say that we appreciate the Western reaction. At the same time, I think that similar scale of sanctions had to be introduced 8 years ago when Russia just started war against Ukraine with the Crimea annexation and the war on the eastern part of Ukraine. But later, better late than never. And these sanctions now introduced, they are really powerful. The only problem that this is not a weapon, this is an instrument, and it doesn't provide an immediate effect. But overall, I think it was a very good step, and it probably will, I mean, in combination with the Ukrainian resistance, military resistance, and with the international community, I think that we will achieve the results. The biggest problem nowadays is that nobody can predict the reaction of President Putin, who seems to be not handling the situation properly and not having the proper information.
Oleksiy Melnyk, thanks very much for being here with us and sharing those perspectives. Stay safe.
Thank you.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.